Things going well in life?
Yeah, yeah, not bad.
I tried to go to your show and I got there late. I'm sorry. How did it end up?
That's what Danita said. I think it was Danita.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it went well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm happy with how it went.
Is there a next step for it? Yeah.
Kind of like all of my completed works right now, it's just trying to find someone with a lot of money that wants to produce all of them. So that's always a fun thing, but it'll happen.
Yeah. Do you have a recording of all yours? I mean, did you have like a documentation of everything you've done?
No, it's against actors' equity rules to record the performance that I did, so I was not allowed to perform that. And then I don't have a recording of the musical or the other play, so no recordings yet.
Oh man, I didn't know. I didn't realize there was a leap obstacle.
Yeah, it's just you have to negotiate it into a contract if you want to record it because then that means either more money for the actors or there are certain types of performances that allow recording, but the type that I had was not one of those.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you
oh.
doing well?
I'm doing good.
Are you
I had
stressed?
what's that?
You said you're a little stressed, right?
Yeah, today I teach a lot on Thursdays, so today was a long day of teaching. And
What do you teach?
I teach economics at Hunter College, two classes this semester.
That
Okay.
that is a subject I know zero about, so I'm impressed.
Oh well, if you ever want to audit a class, you're welcome.
I would be like, what is he talking about?
Just hard truths left and right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How the world works.
Yeah. I try to make my classes very much like a discussion, and I got a couple of classes this semester where no one talks. I mean, it's like pulling teeth.
That's always frustrating.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're like, come on, guys, take up some of the time.
Yeah. Today I gave him the example of if you're on a date and you don't say anything, is it awkward? Yes. And then also on dates, like sometimes you have one person who asks all the questions and then the other person doesn't ask any and the other person doesn't volunteer any information. That's not good either, is it? We had a whole discussion and I was like, that's how this class is, guys. Yeah.
And they still said nothing.
They, yeah. There that analogy landed about like you can imagine.
Like, okay, great. Great.
Yeah. But mostly I'm doing good. Thanks.
That's good.
Thanks for reading this with me. We're gonna do Luke 6.
It's like, oh. Mhm.
Um, and I'll have you start if that's okay. You'll do 4, I'll do 4. We'll go back and forth till the end.
Okay. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. And certain of the Pharisees said unto them, Why do ye that which is not lawful to do on the Sabbath days? And Jesus answering them said, Have ye not read so much as this, what David did when himself was an hungered, and they which were with him? How he went into the house of God and did take and eat the shewbread, and gave also to them that were with him, which is not lawful to eat but for the priests alone.
And he said unto them that the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. And it came to pass also on another Sabbath that he entered into the synagogue and taught, and there was a man whose right hand was withered. And the scribes and Pharisees watched him whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, that they might find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts, and said to the man which had the withered hand, Rise up and stand forth in the midst. And he arose and stood forth.
Then Jesus said unto them, I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Sabbath days to do good or to do evil, to save life or to destroy it? And looking round about upon them all, he said unto the man, Stretch forth thy hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And they were filled with madness, and communed one with another what they might do to Jesus. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray, and continued all night in prayer to God.
And when it was day, he called unto him his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostles: Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which was also the traitor.
And he came down with them, and stood in the plain, and the company of his disciples, and a great multitude of people out of all Judea and Jerusalem, and from the sea coast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to him, and to be healed of their diseases. And they that were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went virtue out of him, and healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples, and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God.
Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil, for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven, for in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation.
Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them and curse you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you.
And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek offer also the other, and him that taketh away thy cloak forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods ask them not again. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them.
And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. But be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful.
Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye mete, wherewithal it shall be measured to you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but every one that is perfect shall be as his master.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. For when a good tree bringeth forth corrupt fruit, neither doth a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of good measure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh.
And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will shew you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built on a house. Sorry, he is like a man which built an house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose and the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Okay.
And see.
Do you okay, so this reminds me a lot. One of my favorite books is The Idiot by Dostoevsky, where he basically the character is not actually an idiot, but he lets everyone take advantage of him, but it's very actually Christ-like. I think that's Dostoevsky's point. Um, but I say that to ask, I don't know, do you read this and does it connect to like characters or stories? Is that a is that a way that you interpret these kind of things or not really?
Well, yeah, I mean, it, one of the reasons I love the New Testament is because I did a production of the musical Godspell,
Okay.
and it was really magical production. And it, for anyone that doesn't know, Godspell basically takes the text from the New Testament, mainly Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and creates this musical around it. So every time I hear these little, sound bites, judge not and you shall not be judged, condemn not, like they're all just lines that I've performed before, and so it's always a little nostalgic for me in a positive way when I reread these chapters. I had a stake president at the time who came and saw the production because Godspell was his favorite show in the world, and he always said, if you're performing Godspell, you're doing just as much missionary work as if you were serving a mission. So I always felt very happy about that. But
Yeah.
it's very nostalgic for me to read these chapters.
Wow. That's super. I don't know that musical. I'll have to look it up. That's unfortunate.
It's very, everyone should go listen to Godspell.
Huh. Is there a recording of you doing it online somewhere?
No,
Okay.
but there are lots of really great recordings on Spotify and Apple Music, and I'm sure YouTube as well.
Yeah. Um, good. I guess I was struck this time. It feels to me like I don't know. It's presented as though he's teaching it for the first time, but it feels like he's already like, "Come on, guys, do this stuff," which makes me think he must have already told them. I don't know. Did you get a sense that he's a little impatient or something?
Well, he's definitely, I mean, Jesus is being pretty sassy in this chapter for sure.
Yeah.
They're like, and that's my favorite kind of Jesus, is the sassy Jesus, because he just says it like it is and is not afraid to be really blunt. So, I definitely get that vibe here.
Okay. I think that's totally legit. I want to know why do you like sassy Jesus? Why do you like why do you like blunt Jesus?
Well, I just appreciate really good communication as a person. Like that's such a huge part of like how I live my life. I really enjoy very strong communication, and he's just not sugarcoating it. Like I'm from the South, so I'm so used to the like, bless your heart, and then, saying nice things to your face and then saying something different behind your back. And it's just like, how do you possibly, we're not mind readers. So it's really nice when Jesus just comes out and is like, you fool.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I'm always gonna remember that. That's awesome.
I know, I'll just be reading and I'll be like, Sassy Jesus is here.
Uh, I'm trying to think which Jesus I like. I'll have to figure it
Yeah,
out.
it was just because he's like so he can be so endearing and so kind. He's a healer. He's very brotherly and can be so like accommodating to people, but
Mhm.
then he can also be very sassy and then I know a lot of people love I wouldn't say angry Jesus, but like when he's at the temple and he's, churning over tables, but
Like Justice Jesus.
yeah, there we go. Justice Jesus. Like a superhero.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay, well, that was awesome. So interesting. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Great. Happy to help anytime. Just let me know.